I'm at Mohegan Outdoor Center, and it's July 1st. We're getting there. And I'm with Beer Run. How you doing, Beer Run?
Doing good. How are you?
All right. So tell me, where'd you start and when did you start?
So I started at Springer Mountain in Georgia on March 14th.
Okay.
And I guess coming up, actually, we're about just under 900 miles from Mount Katahdin.
You're getting there. You're
Yeah.
getting close. Why the AT? Why of all trails the AT?
So I actually found out about the AT when I was about 20 years old, just coming out, starting in college. I went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, which is actually pretty much the home territory to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and I found out about it, and I would be hiking in the Smokies every weekend, and a lot of trails connected to the AT, and so I thought, well, what is this AT all about? Turns out it's this huge long trail that people every year try to tackle.
It's just a walk. Walk
Yeah,
in the
just
woods.
a short walk in the woods. But yeah, I found out people try to tackle it every year, and learned that it takes them about 6 months or so to do it. And I don't know, gosh, for the past decade, it's been in my head that, man, it'd be really cool to hike the whole thing one day. So here I am.
So you got an opportunity to do it.
That's right. That's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool. How's it been going?
Oh, great so far. I can't emphasize enough, the people make the trail. I was really expecting it to be a lot more of an isolated kind of environment, very austere in terms of, you're kind of on your own for supplies and camping and all this stuff. But really, I've learned so much just around the others that I've been hiking with, and not only from others I've been hiking with, but really from people providing trail magic and supply items and stuff like that.
So people on the trail that...
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the culture.
Yeah, the culture is incredible. I mean, everyone's so friendly and positive, and one of the best things I think I've heard on trail is that, bad attitudes really don't last, because either a bad attitude lasts or you won't. So,
So basically, they're off the trail.
That's right. Yeah. So you've definitely got to keep a positive mindset throughout the whole excursion. But it's been remarkable.
How'd you get the name Beer Run? I can guess.
Yeah. So the old-fashioned way. So we got to Rufus Morgan Shelter, which was about a mile before the NOC in North Carolina, one evening, and there were about 16, 17 of us that pulled into camp that night. So a pretty big campsite, or a pretty big group that night. And my buddy Shooter, he and Blueberry Turtle, another friend of mine, they were actually staying in town at the NOC. And they called me up and they said, hey, bud, there's a general store here, and they happen to sell beer. And it had been maybe 30, 40 miles since we had had any sort of adult beverages, if you will. And they were like, yeah, they're going to be open for the next 30 minutes, half hour, or hour, something like that. But you got to hurry because they're closing up soon. And so I looked at my buddy Brock, who his name's Dubs now. Shout out Dubs, he's on the trek.
All right, cool.
Great guy. But we both looked at each other and we were like, we could do a beer run right now. And Dubs emptied out his pack, and I was wearing my flip-flops at the time, or not flip-flops, sandals. And we hightailed it down the mountain, got there with maybe, 15 minutes to spare or something like that. But that was the fastest mile I've ever ran on trail. But yeah, we managed to secure two 12 packs and bring them back to the group. So we saved camp that night, just making sure everybody had beer and a good time.
And who named you though?
Oh, so that was Dubs. He was like, after that was an epic beer run. You should be named Beer Run. I was like, yeah, I'll humbly accept. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You got any aspirations to do another trail, you think? After this is finished?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question. So after doing the first half of the trail, I've really fallen in love with long distance hiking. I was a little skeptical or worried about the whole camping aspect of long distance through hiking at first, but you kind of figure that out as you go. But I absolutely want to tackle the other two, potentially the PCT next, but maybe a year or two before I decide to tackle it. So,
that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yep.
Give me one tip for a new thru hiker.
Ooh, new thru hiker. Don't be afraid to take 0 days. You hear a lot of people, especially starting out, like you got to do a certain number of miles, or you got to go a number of days before you stop at your first hostel, or you stop, take a 0 day or something like that. Don't be afraid to take breaks, because I can't tell you the number of friends that I've had made on trail that have unfortunately had to get off trail due to either injury, personal reasons, and they're off trail for the rest of the season, and they kind of burnt themselves out.
Yeah.
So take
that's
your zero.
well, that's the problem. They push themselves.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've seen it, you know.
Yeah, don't
Definitely.
overpush yourself.
Don't push yourself,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, thanks for visiting with me
Hey,
today.
thanks so much, Johnny Dollar. Take care.